The daycare director called us in and slid a USB across the table. She whispered, "This recording explains everything." My wife nearly fainted watching it. Our daughter Claire had been coming home with bruises for 2 weeks. Small ones at first. A mark on her arm, a scratch on her knee. The daycare said she was clumsy during outdoor play. Kids fall, they said, especially the active ones. Claire wasn't active though. She was the quiet kid who sat in corners reading picture books while other children ran around. But we believed them. Then the bruises got worse. A dark one on her shoulder, fingerprints on her wrist. When I asked Claire what happened, she went silent, stared at her feet, said nothing. My wife took her to the pediatrician. He examined every mark and said kids bruise easily. Nothing looked intentional. We felt relieved and guilty for even questioning it. But yesterday morning changed everything. Claire saw the daycare building from the car and started screaming. Actually screaming. She grabbed the door handle, tried to jump out while we were still moving. My wife had to pull over. Claire was sobbing so hard she couldn't breathe. Kept saying, "I don't want to go. Please don't make me go." We'd never seen her like that. I called the director, told her we were keeping Claire home and needed to talk. She said to come in immediately. When we arrived, she looked pale, exhausted, like she hadn't slept. "We reviewed all our security footage from the past month," she said as we sat in her office. "After Claire's reaction this morning, I had to check. You need to see this." She plugged in the USB. Her hands were shaking. The screen showed the nap room. Timestamp, last Tuesday, 1:47 p.m. Most kids were sleeping on their mats. Claire was awake in the corner, quietly reading a book like she always does during nap time. She never could sleep in the afternoon. Then Mrs. Peterson entered the frame. The assistant teacher who'd been there for 6 months. Always smiled when we dropped Claire off, always waved. She walked straight to Claire, yanked the book from her hands so hard the pages tore. "I said nap time means everyone sleeps." Her voice was cold, nothing like the sweet tone she used with parents. Claire started crying. That soft, scared crying kids do when they know screaming will make it worse. Mrs. Peterson grabbed Claire's arm. You could see her fingers digging in. She dragged Claire across the room to her mat, shoved her down hard enough that Claire's head bounced slightly. My wife's hand covered her mouth. Tears were already streaming down her face. "There's more," the director said quietly. She fast-forwarded. Different day, same room. Mrs. Peterson pulling Claire up by her wrist when she tried to get water, twisting her arm behind her back. Another clip. Mrs. Peterson blocking Claire from going to the bathroom, making her wait until she wet herself, then calling her disgusting. Another. Mrs. Peterson taking Claire's snack and throwing it in the trash, telling her she was too fat anyway. 11 separate incidents over 3 weeks. It only happened during nap time, the director explained. "I'm usually doing admin work in my office then." Mrs. Peterson volunteered to supervise alone, said she enjoyed the quiet time with the kids. The final clip was from yesterday. Claire entering the nap room, seeing Mrs. Peterson, and immediately trying to hide behind the bookshelf, curling into a ball. Mrs. Peterson walking toward her with that same cold expression. That's when Claire had the meltdown that made her teacher call us. The other teachers had no idea. The director continued. Mrs. Peterson only did this when she was completely alone with the nappers. She avoided the cameras in the play areas, but the nap room camera has a wide angle. She didn't realize it caught everything. My wife was crying too hard to speak. "She's been fired. I called police before you arrived. They're reviewing the footage now. I've contacted every parent whose child was in that nap group." The director looked at Claire's file on her desk. "Your daughter tried to tell us 3 times she said she didn't want nap time. We thought she just didn't like sleeping. I'm so sorry. I thought about all the times we'd told Claire she needed to be more careful, that she was just clumsy, that the daycare was fun and she should stop complaining. She'd been trying to tell us the whole time.